Three, two, one. Roll the footage. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Strategy Show. I'm Simon Severino, your host, and I'm so super pumped because today we talk systems. And systems have changed my life, changed the life of dozens of our clients. Every week, they write us love letters and how their life is better, not just their business. So I'm super pumped to have the expert here on how to hire VAs to scale your business. A VA is a virtual assistant. We will deep dive into that. He is the co-founder of freeup.com. He scaled it to 12 millions a year. He's now today the founder of the Outsource School. Hello, everybody. Nathan Hirsch.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. I love talking systems, processing, hiring. Should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we will unpack so much. We will deep dive into how to hire, interview, screen, onboard a virtual assistant, how to lead remotely, and how to delegate more. I'm so pumped, and we will go directly into it after thanking our sponsors.
You want to make your sales more repeatable and reliable? Do you want to have less volatility and more growth in your revenue per month? At Strategy Sprints, we do only one thing: strategy in sprints. Strategy means having more revenue through a better offer. In sprints means having more energy in your team every week. Check out if your ROI is as high as it is for most service-based and online businesses and startups we work with, which is over 100%. You can see it in just 15 minutes by going to strategysprints.com/sales and completing our online exercise to know what your ROI would be with our accelerator program. We are ready to sprint. Are you?
So, Nathan, tell us a little bit, what are you currently creating?
Yeah, so we're building this awesome company called Outsource School. And really, when we sold FreeUp, which was an 8-figure business completely run by virtual assistants, people started asking us if we could teach them our systems, our processes. And we really want to help busy entrepreneurs who are just stuck inside their business. Their business runs without that or runs completely with them. And we want to help them make their business more scalable, more sellable, and have systems and processes to run without them. And so what Outsource School has is what we call the fundamentals, which is cracking the VA code. We teach you our exact process for interviewing, onboarding, training, and managing. And this drastically improves your hiring percentage. Then we give you standard operating procedures. We call them formulas and playbooks to get out of the day-to-day operations of your business and to have your business do marketing without you doing every little thing. So stuff like podcast research, partnerships, customer service, having a VA run your inbox. We give you pre-made SOPs to plug into your business. And then we have a software called Simply SOP to create your own systems, your own processes. And we give you bulletproof ways to build really good procedures, training documents for your business. So you can get all this stuff separately at Outsource School. Or if you become an Outsource School Insider, which is our membership, you get access to all of this and more. So our goal, again, is to help busy entrepreneurs who have a business that runs entirely on them get more done by working less and to create a scalable and sellable business.
If somebody is listening and doesn't know what a system is, Nathan, what is a system?
So a big part about a business is building systems, and these are repeatable processes. For example, I have a 90-day rule where I don't do anything myself for longer than 90 days. I pick something up, I throw stuff against the wall, I learn it, I figure out what works, what doesn't work. I then start documenting it, or I actually use my own software. We have a software called Simply SOP to create video and text documents. Then I hire someone and I train them how to do it using our software. And I make sure that they master it. I test them. I give them feedback. And then by the end of that 90 days, the end of the 3 months, it's up to them. It's their responsibility. They have ownership of that task, and that gets me my time back, and then I can pick something else up. And I mean, we just went through a sale. We sold free up to one of our clients. And if I had gone to them and said, oh, don't worry about how customer service works, Jane in customer service, she knows how to do it, or I have it in my head, I'll tell you, they're not buying that business. They need to see who does what when in every single situation. So those SOPs, standard operating procedures, become incredibly important.
Absolutely. And so let's go directly into your CEO tip number 1, how to hire, screen, interview, onboard VAs.
Yeah. So, and I can talk about this for hours, but one of the best tips I can give is to make sure you're onboarding people. There has to be a step in between interviewing and training. Most people know you have to interview someone. Most people know that you have to train them, but you want to make sure that you onboard them, and that's setting expectations. So we have what we call our SICK method, SICC, which stands for schedule, issues, communication, and culture. So after we interview someone, let's say that we like Jane, we want to hire Jane at $5 an hour. We go to Jane and we say, hey, that was a great interview. Before we hire you, we want to go through our SICK method. We want to get on the same page with schedule. We want to make sure we know what other clients you have, what is their schedule, what outside commitments do you have, what are the total hours you're working. We want to go through the most common issues, which is personal, weather, internet, power, computer. And we want to know how often you have these issues, what the backup plan is for these issues, and how you're going to communicate these issues with us. And this alone is going to save you hours and hours down the line. Then we're going to go through our communication channels, what tools we use, what's expected. And then we're going to go over culture and what our culture is and how we don't work with people that aren't a good culture fit. So in this 20 to 30 minutes, we've gotten on the same page with them. We give them a chance to ask questions, and we give them a chance to back out, because we'd much rather they back out if they're not a good fit, if our expectations aren't in line. And you really want to make sure you're doing this onboarding, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't find out about these issues or get on the same page until they've already invested time into the virtual assistant. And that can cost you a lot of headaches and wasted time and money down the line.
If somebody's asking, do I really need systems? What can we tell them? Because if you see right now, schools, when they were shut down, when they had to work remotely, there were some schools who were doing really well here in Europe because they were prepared. They had systems in place. And some other schools, they just didn't. Now, what's your take? How are people right now in the crisis doing in terms of having systems or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think every business is a little bit different. I think that systems have to have backup plans. And I think sometimes just planning ahead and having what happens if this happens, how do we pivot our business? How do we make changes? But also, who has decision-making power? Because if you get a bigger and bigger business, you can't be making all the decisions. I can't be in customer service and be in billing and be in social media and be in the marketing team. So you want to have systems and process of who to go to when problems come up, what those backup plans are. And ideally, you have systems and processes that are bulletproof, that no matter what happens, you can fix it. You can survive that. You can continue to market, continue to run customer service. And these systems continue to be evolving. And as new problems, new situations come up, you want to be constantly improving your systems. And maybe in the first 6 months of your business, you have a lot of rough drafts, but by the time you get to year 2, 3, and 4, you should have very well-developed systems that are owned, controlled by other people. I mean, they're owned by you, but someone else is taking ownership and improving those systems. And I think the business that do that, the business that can plug anyone into their systems and have success, those are the ones that become scalable and sellable.
What are some of your personal favorite systems that you have right now?
So I'm working on a playbook right now called the Inbox Playbook, or the Inbox Management Playbook. And it's all about having a VA work your inbox and clear out your emails. And I have a VA who clears out my inbox from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I wake up at 7 a.m. So my inbox is good to go. They leave, hey, Nate, here are 3 important emails I left for you. I handle those real quick and I get started with my day. And for me personally, my most productive time of the day is between 7 and 9 a.m. So if I spend 7 to 9 a.m. clearing out my inbox, that's a pretty big waste of time. And I'm wasting time every single day. So for me, having a really good system where my VA knows all the different types of emails I get, what are the subcategories of those categories, what are the canned responses and the common answers to all these questions, and what emails need to be left for me, that's a very important system in my business.
Absolutely. Canned responses, people, is something beautiful. If you use Gmail, canned responses is something wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I have also people doing my inbox, but I have stopped checking the inbox before 12, so before lunch, because I try to get stuff done until lunch. That's what helped me during the last month of this craziness. But whatever helps, build your system, people. Build your system. And before we move to CEO tip number 2, how to lead remote VAs, we go to the segment we call the Strategy Award.
Strategy Award. That shit crack.
You can pick only one company in the world who's doing things differently, even a little bit awkwardly, maybe, as you just experienced, but they are doing the right thing. Who would you pick?
So there's a local gym that I go to down the street. I'm a big workout guy, and I know the owners there. And I mean, they were devastated when COVID hit. I mean, that's their whole business that can't run. But they did a really cool pivot. They changed their business to do online streaming. So 3 times a day, they stream a different workout. And I just got finished doing a workout that they were streaming from down the street. So they figured out, hey, how can we continue to get revenue coming in? That they're not charging the same price that they would for normal membership. It's probably about 25% of what their normal membership is, but I subscribe. I want to support them. I still want to work out. I want to stay in shape. And I thought that was a really cool pivot. It would have been very easy for them to close down or just say, hey, we can't do anything until we can open back up. But switching to that online or that streaming service, I think is really key for them.
Absolutely. How can we lead teams of remote VAs, so even more than one?
Yeah, it all comes down to communication. And we like to set up 3 different communication channels. We have Slack for day-to-day. So when they're working, they have to be on Slack, responding on Slack. Every team has their own Slack channel. We use email for responses within a business day. And we use WhatsApp and Viber for emergencies only. So part of it is setting up these communication channels and sticking to them. Part of them is having weekly meetings. So we have an all hands on deck meeting on Monday where we give people updates. We get them to buy in. We set projects, goals, due dates, all of that. We have we have the team meetings throughout the week. So customer service has 1 meeting each week. Social media has 1 meeting each week. And then we do one-on-one meetings each quarter. And these are big when it comes to leadership because that's an opportunity for us to show appreciation, thank them for their hard work, challenge them, keep them updated on things that we're working on, and get feedback, get ideas. A big part of leadership is understanding what you're doing well and what you're doing poorly. And a lot of times just doing them in group meetings, you don't get the full picture. So by having these one-on-one meetings, you get really good information that help you improve it and grow your business.
Absolutely. And what are some systems you would consider to start with? If somebody has like no systems, which should people start with?
So I mentioned the getting out of your inbox. I think that's a big one. That's one of my first hires. Bookkeeping and billing. That's something that I like to get set up right from the beginning. I don't want to get a year into my company and then have to go back and fix all my books. And I want to figure out what reports I want to get every week and every month because I need to make decisions based on those reports. And the average entrepreneur isn't very good at bookkeeping. They don't really like bookkeeping. Bookkeeping doesn't help them grow their business. So having someone that can do that billing from day one, that billing, that bookkeeping, again, this is not your accountant. Your accountant does your taxes, but you have a VA that handles more of the day-to-day and weekly and monthly billing for your company. And then from there, it comes down to what are the easiest systems or what is the easiest task that you do all the time that you can delegate and take off your plate. I always tell entrepreneurs to try to get 5 hours a week back just to start. You can always get more after that. But if you can identify something that you're doing 5 hours a week that you can delegate and pass off to a virtual assistant, that's going to give you more time for rest and relaxation to recover or spend time with your family if you're overworked, or 5 hours a week to focus on the sales, the expansion, the marketing. So I would get out of your inbox, get out of your bookkeeping, and then figure out what is the easiest task that you do every single week.
Many of our clients ask us, should I get rid of the tasks that I dislike, or should I get rid of the tasks that are low leverage in terms of dollar or opportunity costs per hour? What's your take?
So I personally like to get rid of tasks that I don't like doing, but I'm also at a different stage of my entrepreneurial journey. If you're hiring people for the first time, those tasks that you hate doing might be something like sales that you should be doing as a new business owner. Trying to going from never hiring before to outsourcing sales, not impossible, but very, very hard. So you want to get some experience. You want to learn about hiring. You want to get better at it over time. And usually a better approach for that is to just take the easiest task off your plate first and then build from there. And so there's no right or wrong answer there, but I would encourage people to start with the easiest and then down the line, get off the stuff that you hate doing.
What's one thing people can do to make it easy to create SOPs, formulas? Is it video and text or something else?
Yeah, check out our software, Simply SOP. And for years, we did SOPs via text because videos, while they're great for training, they get outdated very, very quickly. And then you have to hire a video editor. You have to go back and refilm the whole thing. So once we sold FreeUp, and FreeUp had all our SOPs on Google Docs, we said, all right, we want to create video SOPs, but we don't want to have to continue to update them. So we created a software that as you record a video, you mark the steps as you go. And then when you're done, you have all the steps laid out. You can add text, you can add headlines. It's very dynamic and easy for your virtual assistant or your team to interpret. But then if you need to sub out step 3, you can easily do that without hiring a video editor, without redoing the whole thing. And you can give your VAs access and edit access so they can actually update your SOPs, update your videos, and it saves you a lot of time and effort. So I definitely check out Simply SOP if you want to create very dynamic SOPs that can be updated over time very easily. Hello? Hello? I think I lost you.
We're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if that was my side or your side.
I don't know. My next question is your 2 favorite books about systems.
E-Myth is always a good one. I mean, that's kind of the classic, or E-Myth Revisited. I randomly will read that just to kind of get my mindset right. Another good one is Tools of Titans. I mean, really anything by Tim Ferriss. I mean, a lot of people know the 4-Hour Work Week, but he has a really cool book called Tools of Titans, and you get to learn.
Sorry, Nathan, we have to rewind. I was losing internet. Your 2 favorite books about systems.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the 4-Hour Work Week and the E-Myth or the E-Myth Revisited. I think a lot of those are the classics that teach you how to work above or on your business, not inside your business. And I would definitely start with those.
Absolutely. And what are some books that inspire you personally?
Right now, I'm reading a book called Shoe Dog, which is all about how the guy built Nike, Phil Knight. And it's an incredible story on someone who kept having some success, losing it, having some success, losing it, and didn't give up and worked his butt off to grow what is Nike today. So very inspiring story.
Cool. Let's go to CEO tip number 3, how to delegate more.
Yeah. So when it comes to delegating, I always focus on who's responsible for what and who's going to prove themselves. And what you don't want to happen is you have 10 to 15 VAs that all report to you. You want to insert in team leaders and assistant team leaders. And you also don't want to wake up one day and say, oh, I need a team leader. Who should that be? So what you want to do is you want to give people your systems, your processes, have them take ownership of it, have them prove to you that they can not only do it reliably, but make it better over time and keep it updated. So if I check in 6 months, our SOPs can't be outdated. So if you find people that can do that, then you can promote them into team leader or assistant team leader roles. And then you can eventually have team leader meetings where you don't meet with every single team. They run their own meetings and you just have a team leader meeting every week. And that's really the process to be able to delegate more and more over time.
This is so powerful. Can we dig deeper into that? So we have a couple of VAs. How do we start this process of finding out who wants to become also owner of systems and having more of a supervising role?
So you have a meeting with your VA and you tell them, hey, like you're really good at this research task. I want you to own it. I want you to make it better. I want you to act like this is your business. And from that conversation, you're gonna be able to tell whether they really want that or whether they just want to show up, follow the directions, and sign off and go spend time with their family. So you want to figure out, do they actually want it? And then you want to test them and you want to see, hey, in a month, is the SOP look exactly the same, or have they made improvements? Have they come with ideas? You want to try to, you can't promote someone who's just a yes man or a yes woman into that leadership role. And then the conversation becomes, do you want more responsibility? It comes with more pay, but I'm going to hold you a lot more accountable. It's going to be a little bit more stressful. You have to bring your A game every single day. And some people want that and some people don't. So it starts off with having good SOPs, then proving that they can do it, then proving that they can make it better and keep it updated, and then actually stating that they want that additional responsibility.
Who are some example of systems from completely other fields, maybe from sports or from other fields that you see where you say, oh, this is how systems work?
I mean, I'm a big baseball fan. Opening day is today, and people, the really best players have a system that they follow every single day. They go in, maybe they go to the sauna first, then they go to the trainer, then they stretch out, then they take batting practice, then they do fielding work. And the best athletes do come up with that system that works for them, and they tweak it over time. The same system that they did when they were 15 might be similar, but it's probably different and probably way better than when they're 20, 25. As they get older, when they're 35, maybe they spend more time in the sauna and less time taking batting practice. So these are systems that they follow every single day that evolve and develop over time.
How big or small should the business be of somebody that starts working with outsource school?
There's no size limit. I mean, we have people that are doing millions of dollars that hire hundreds of VAs that use outsource school to get you better systems, better processes. And we've got entrepreneurs who are just making revenue for the first time, but they know that hiring is the key to business. It's a skill that they need to learn early on. So they jump in early and they get those really good systems and processes early on in their business and everything in between. Again, outsource school is for entrepreneurs who find themselves where their business runs with them. And a lot of entrepreneurs only runs with them being there, only runs with them doing a lot of tasks, and they're stuck in the day-to-day operation of their business. And there are small business owners that are in that situation. There are big business owners that are in that situation. And our goal, if you become an outsource school insider and get access to all our stuff, is to give you the systems and processes to make your business scalable and sellable.
Walk me through the first 2 months of working with you. If I'm a small business, I come to you, and what happens first?
So let me explain. We have a membership. So that's what Outsource School Insider is, where you get access to everything. And that's go at your own pace. You might be someone who's trying to go on podcast first. You go to our podcast outreach formula. You might be struggling to onboard. So you need to grab our onboard system first. But you're in our group. You're in our community. We're there to ask questions. We're there to support you. One thing that we're testing out right now, because a lot of people like that openness and they can go at their own pace, but we're launching an accountability program where you can meet with our team. We'll check in with you each week. We'll create a roadmap of what you should do first, second, third, fourth. We're looking for a few more beta testers there. So if you're interested in that, shoot me an email. We give you a discount on the membership or reach out to me. And that's something that we're going to launch down the line. I'm not sure if that's going to be replaced like just the open-ended membership, or maybe it's something that's different and people can choose which one they want. But for the past few months, it's been very open where you get access, you go at your own pace. We're there to support you and help you, and so is our community. But we're testing out a more structured program for people that prefer that. And we'd love a few more beta testers for anyone that's interested.
The great things about systems is that they create freedom. Now you have much more time now with all these systems that you have. What do you do with all this time?
I mean, it's quarantine, right? So there's not too many options to travel and do stuff like that. I mean, I work out, I hang out with my fiance, we walk the dogs. We're actually looking to buy a house in Colorado, so we're looking at that. But yeah, I mean, we're doing what everyone else is doing in quarantine, which is trying to make the most of it, trying to enjoy every single day, trying to be safe and enjoy the time that we have together and work on business. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're up to.
Cool. Where can people find you best?
Yeah, go to outsourceschool.com. You can get a free trial to become an Outsource School Insider. You can set up a call with us. You can connect with me on social media, Nathan Hirsch on Facebook or LinkedIn, Real Nate Hirsch on Instagram or Twitter. And I appreciate you having me on.
Who should be my next guest?
Good question. Check out Matt Johnson. He's a great guy in the podcast space. He's on my mind because I was just chatting with him before this, but he's an awesome podcaster, great guest. I would definitely reach out to him.
And why?
He just knows the industry very well. I mean, the podcast industry is growing. I'm a big fan of podcasts. I go on podcasts every single day. He helps people launch and scale and grow podcasts, and I think he'd be a great guest for you.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for being here. And people, check this out. Systems can make your business grow and your life better. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that episode of The Strategy Show. Make sure to like this video below and subscribe so that you can stay up to date with every episode of The Strategy Show. Get daily CEO tips from CEOs for CEOs.